Hey, what's up, muchachos? Today we're going to be talking about a very important skill in Algebra 2 known as multiplying binomials. Now, this skill goes by a few different names besides just multiplying binomials. You may have heard it referred to as foiling or double distribution. Regardless of the name that you learned, the skill itself is going to remain the same. In order to multiply two binomials together, you need to multiply both terms in one set of parentheses by both terms in the second set of parentheses, and then add all the products together. Despite this video's name, we're going to run with calling it foiling, because FOIL provides us a very useful mnemonic device. It tells us exactly what we need to do in order to multiply two binomials together. In other words, it guarantees that we're not going to miss any of the products that we need. So how does it work? Well, the F stands for first, the O stands for outer, the I inner, and the L stands for last. Basically, these letters provide an outline for the terms that we need to multiply times each other. In other words, first tells us to multiply the first terms in both sets of parentheses times each other, and O tells us to multiply the outer two terms in the overall problem, the first term in the first parentheses and the last term in the second parentheses. When we do the example problems below, you're going to see that I'm going to write F, O, I, and L in both of the problems. Now, you don't have to do all of this writing, but I would strongly recommend at least thinking about FOIL as you're going through most multiplying binomial problems. This is going to help you stay organized. And if I may be so bold, organization is the key to success in 99% of all math problems. Listen closely, muchachos. Even the biggest genius can get things wrong when they lose track of what they're doing. What I'm saying here is that our job as students isn't to make ourselves look as smart as possible, it's to make ourselves look less dumb. The easiest way to do this is to write things down and stay organized. And with that inspiring message, let's go ahead and take a look at our two examples below. Our first example asks us to multiply x minus 2 times x plus 3. I know this is multiplication because there's no symbol in between my two parentheses, and whenever I have no symbol in between two things, I assume that it's going to be multiplication. I also happen to know that this is multiplication of binomials because each of my two parentheses contains two terms. So how are we going to solve this? Well, obviously we're going to FOIL. This means we multiply the first terms, the outer terms, the inner terms, and the last terms together. Start with F for first. To get our first product, we're going to multiply x times x to get x squared. To get O, I'm going to multiply the first term in my first parentheses times the last term in my second parentheses, aka the two outermost terms here. In this case, we get 3x. I, similarly, is going to be the two inner terms, the two terms closest to the middle. So negative 2 times x gives us negative 2x. And obviously, last tells us to multiply the two second terms in both parentheses, giving us negative 6. Next, we're going to add everything together and combine any like terms that we have, giving us x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 6. Our two x terms can be combined together to give us a final answer of x squared plus x minus 6. So the full process had us finding all four products, adding everything together, and then combining our like terms. By explicitly writing down our F, O, I, and L products off to the side, we ensure that we have all four of the products that we need, and we give ourselves a very convenient place to check in the event that we need to verify our work. You may have also noticed the arrows that I drew. This is another visual hint that I've already done the multiplication between those terms. For most people, this is more than enough to minimize your chances of making a mistake without having to go all the way and write everything out. But you know me by now, thorough is as thorough does, so I'm going to continue to write out FOIL because I want to make sure that I get the answer right. Let's take a look at our second example. This problem asks us to multiply 2x plus 7 times 3x minus 5. We can see multiplication of binomials, so we're going to FOIL and start with our first products. 2x times 3x gives us 6x squared. Next, we need our outer product, so we'll write O, and then we'll multiply 2x times negative 5, which of course is going to give us negative 10x. Note the arrow underneath to signify that I've done my multiplication. Now we need our inner products, that's 7 times 3x, to give us 21x. And finally, we need the product of our last terms, so we're going to put L, and 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. Now we add all of our products together and combine our like terms. We do 6x squared minus 10x plus 21x and then minus 35. Our two x's in the middle can be combined here, negative 10 plus 21. This gives us a final answer of 6x squared plus 11x minus 35. And that, as they say, is that. Remember, muchachos, the key to success in these types of problems is staying organized. Whether you're somebody who needs to write down F, O, I, and L, or you're one of the majority of people where the arrows are going to be enough, as long as you put something down on the page, you are reducing your chances of making a mistake, and by consequence, making yourself look like a silly fool. And only fools want to look like fools. So stay organized and stay beautiful. Later, muchachos!